Yo, what up, my batting family? We back with another video here at No Limit Bets for the NBA slate of January 14th, 2023. Before we get started on this video, I would like to say good morning to y'all, good afternoon, whatever time it may be that you're watching this video. Hope y'all having a good one, and hopefully we can make it a better day by winning some money. That's what it's all about. So just to recap yesterday's picks, we ended up going 2-4. Unfortunately, back-to-back nights. It's been rough. There were a lot of close misses last night, but at the end of the day, there were misses. We had De'Aaron Fox over 31 and a half points and assists. He ends up with 29. Not sure why he didn't shoot more. He had a very, very efficient night. He was 9 for 13, so it seemed like he had it going offensively. Would have liked him to take more shots, being that efficient. But at the end of the day, he wasn't able to make it. We also had Nikola Vucevic over 32 and a half points and rebounds. He ends up only with 30. We have Paolo Banchero with 20 and a half points on the over. He only ends up with 19. This one was also a little bit frustrating because the first half he only had 5 points. Then he got it going in the second half with 4. He ended up with 14 in the second half. But it seemed like he was dealing with foul trouble throughout the whole night. He did end up fouling out. It was late in the game. I think it was 2 minutes left in the game that he ended up fouling out. But if he would have stayed on the court a little bit longer instead of fouling out, he could have got one more bucket, one more field goal for us to be able to hit that 21 mark. But obviously he didn't hit it. Then the last one we weren't able to hit, we went with Sengun from the Houston Rockets over 28 and a half PRA, and he only ends up with 27. Now, another losing day. We just got to chalk that one up and keep moving forward. I say losing days are a part of it, but we don't like to have too many losing days. So we're looking for a bounce back here today on a beautiful Saturday. So without further ado, let's get into our picks. Now, to start it off, we're going to go with a points prop. We're going to go with Fred VanVleet over 17 and a half points. Now, as you guys can see, he's only hit this 2 out of the last 3 games. Those 2 games against Milwaukee and the Knicks, he ended up with 28. But after that, 2 games against Charlotte, 11 points, and then Portland only 14. Even though he is averaging over the last 5, 18.4, which is above the 17 and a half. They're going up against the Atlanta Hawks. They're on the second night of a back-to-back. These two teams have met each other twice so far this season. They were early in the season. I believe it was October 31st and then November 14th. So it's been a couple months since then. Teams are playing different now, both of them. But I like the bounce back spot for him against the Hawks. I don't see the Hawks really having a perimeter defender to stop him. I know they have Trae Young. They do have DeJounte Murray, but I feel like DeJounte Murray is they still don't have him up, so I don't know if he's questionable to play or not. But I think he'll get a different matchup, maybe Gary Trent Jr., who has been balling the past couple of games. Maybe some of the other guys, maybe OG or not Scotty Barnes, but one of those two. But I still think Fred VanVleet could get us 18 points today. That he did play the second one of those games, and he had a rough shooting night. I believe he ended up with like 15 points or somewhere around that area, but he was like 1 from 11 from 3. He just had a bad shooting night. So if he's able to take 11 threes again at home, I'm pretty confident that he could hit the 18 points for us. So we're going to rock with that. For our second, it is still going to be a point. We're going to keep it on the points prop for our next two picks. We're going to take the under on Lamell Ball, 24.5. Now, he's only hit this once out of the last 5 games, averaging 23.2 over the last 5. The one time he was able to hit it was against Toronto, their last game, which he went off for 32. But the 4 games before that, as you can see, he's come close to this number, but hasn't gotten over. Against Toronto, he had 24. Against Milwaukee, he had 24. And against Memphis, 23. Now they're going up against the Boston Celtics, as we all know, a great defensive team. And Marcus Smart is pretty much just going to be on him. That's going to be his matchup. Marcus Smart is one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. So I don't see really the ball unless he has a hot night, which he's more than capable of. But I just think with the Marcus Smart matchup, I think he won't get the 25 points. He might be around the area, maybe 22, 21, somewhere around there. But I don't think he'll get over the 25 point mark. So we're going to roll with that. For our third pick, it's also going to be a points prop. And we're going to go to the earlier game. Now, with this one, we're going to roll with Jimmy Butler over 21.5 points. He's hit this 3 out of the last 5 games. Last game, they're playing Milwaukee on a back-to-back. They played them on Thursday, and they're playing them today again. On Thursday, he only ended up with 17. I believe he takes more of a scoring load in this game. Not sure if Giannis plays or not. I was waiting for him. They did have him up earlier, and then they listed him as day-to-day, so they took him off. If they put him back on, I had a heavy lean with Giannis over 40.5 points and rebounds, but that's only if he's available. Just trying to put this video out as soon as possible. I did wait as much as I could. It's just the PrizePicks didn't have a lot of props up due to injury reports, waiting on injury reports from teams and whatnot. So we're gonna roll with that for our third pick. For our fourth pick, we're gonna go to a PRA prop. We're gonna go down to the Memphis game. We're gonna take Jaron Jackson over 24.5 PRA. Now he's hit this 4 out of the last 5, with one of them against San Antonio's finishing right on the hook with 24. I think he has a good matchup against the Pacers. The Pacers are on the second night of a back-to-back. The only thing that concerns me about this is Jaron Jackson. He gets into foul trouble a lot, in certain games. So hopefully this is not one of those games where he misses court time due to foul trouble. But if he's not in foul trouble, I expect him to hit this over for us, being that I believe he has a good matchup against Pacers, who are dealing with multiple injuries. Miles Turner is day-to-day for this one. Obviously, Tyrese Halliburton is out. So should have a good matchup. So we're gonna roll with that for our fifth pick. We're also gonna stick with the PRA prop, but we're gonna go to Marcus Smart over 25.5 PRAs. Now I know he hasn't hit this. He's only hit this once out of the last 5, but with this one, I would like to say just take all the stats out of the window, because these are the stats with Jaylen Brown. I believe Jaylen Brown did not play that Brooklyn game, and you could see his production went up. I think there was 3 games so far this season that Jaylen Brown hasn't played and Marcus Smart has played, and Marcus Smart has hit this over in all 3 games so far. With Jaylen Brown out, Like I said, like I mentioned, I expect Marcus Smart production to go up, to get more touches and whatnot, get more shots up, and just have the ball in his hand a lot more with Jaylen Brown out. So we're going to roll with that. And then for our last pick, we're going to go to John Collins of the Atlanta Hawks against Toronto, over 23.5 PRAs. Now, I know he's only hit this twice out of the last 3 games, but over the last 5, he is averaging the 24.6, which is what we need, 24 points. And also, they played, I know there were earlier games, as I mentioned early in the season, a couple months back. Both of these teams are obviously playing different. But he was able to hit this over PRA on both of them. In one game, I believe he had 12 points, 12 rebounds, and like 1 assist, which was 25. And then in the other game, he had, I believe he had 9 points, 11 rebounds, and like 4 assists, which he ended up right at 24. Now, one thing about this pick, he did, that I wanted to give you guys a note about. He did foul out both of those games, and he was still able to get the 24 PRAs. Now, if he stays out of foul trouble for this one, he should be able to get this very easily. They're going to use him a lot because of the matchup that they have against Toronto, being that they like to play small ball. Also, he didn't get to play. I know they're on the second night of back-to-back, the Atlanta Hawks are, but he didn't really play that much last night's game. He only played 27 minutes, which is a little bit more than half of the game. The rest of the players were playing 36, 37 minutes. So those are going to be our top 6 picks. Again, I apologize for the later video today. I was just waiting for the injury report so PrizePicks could get more of their props up. So we're going to go over them on all of them except the points prop for Melo. We're going to take the under on that. Everybody else, we're going to take the over. And like I say, every video, you guys do your own research. If you agree with the play, still do your own research. Don't just take my word for it or anybody else's, because at the end of the day is, your money or our money that we're putting up. So if you only like 1 play, 2 plays, then just pick 2 out of the 6. Don't just pick all 6. If you like all 6, then hey, I'm glad we could agree up on it, and let's make this money. So also, we like to do low risk, high reward. I always mention it here at No Limit Bets. We always bet the $5 for the low risk for the 25 times. So good luck to y'all. Hope y'all have a good rest of your day, and let's go get this money.